You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sunday Cup League weekly series. Tonight is the SuperTrucks at Martinsville. My name is Jonathan Leach. Joining me in the booth tonight is going to be Jacob Zala. Jacob has been with me for the last 3 or 4 weeks calling the series, and every Wednesday evening that we've been here, there has been outstanding racing, and I certainly don't expect anything to change now. Today's race, Today's race info, track length is just under half a mile. Temperature is 117 degrees. The altitude 731 feet above sea level. Outside air temperature 71. Partly cloudy. Looks pretty sunny to me out. Jacob, what are you expecting here at Martinsville? I know you were just racing recently.
Yeah, I just raced here last night. I expect to see a lot of tight quarter racing. Definitely might see some spins, maybe not. Maybe these guys will get their setups handled right away. But it's going to be a lot of fun here tonight. Martinsville is a very short track, very technical track, so definitely got to keep your head on your shoulders and be very patient.
All right, and I was asked to read a special passage before the beginning of this race, and we'll do that here in just a couple moments. But let's first go to the grid. Starting on the pole is going to be Barrett Flo. Joined to his outside will be Adam Lowe for the front row. Starting third is going to be Isaac Love and Justin Lewis. Fourth, fifth is Austin Call. Running out row 3 is Mike Peters. Row 4 is Klaus Williams and Derek Wegman. Row 5, Joshua Yarbaugh, Chad Jones. Greg Birch and Frank Hughes round out row 11, Jacob.
Row 12, you have Tillman Hewer and Zach Archer. Row 12, you have Zach Owen and Michael Matta. Row 13, Chris Myers and Matthew Marston. Row 14, Jason Crumley and Mark Millard. And we had one driver that didn't qualify, and Jason Billaby.
And I do want to correct that we just got our numbers completely mixed up. Somehow I decided that row 12 was actually the 12th place position. So that tells us why we're in the booth. We don't do math, obviously. We'd rather talk about race cars. And, you know, Martinsville's a fun track, and this is going to be a really intense 100-lap race. I think we're going to see a lot of beating and banging. I don't think we're going to see a bunch of cautions. It's very uncharacteristic of the Sunday Cup League Series. So really looking forward to it. Already got somebody rooting for a driver, Jennifer Carnevale, rooting for the number 35 machine for this race. That's for Matthew Marston. We saw him last night when I was joined by Zach Woods. He ran a pretty solid race. If I remember correctly, I think he had a top 5 finish. But the passage I was asked to read is, as soon as these cars begin rolling, we're going to get to that. Should be rolling in the next 4 seconds. Couple more moments, the pace truck should begin rolling down. These guys do a 3-minute intermission prior to the beginning of the race for a driver's meeting, and that's not about to change now. This is the final race of the season for these drivers, Jacob, so unfortunately we're gonna miss this racing for a while. We've had a couple really great ones, but here we go. Deep in the woods of Southern Virginia, there lays a racetrack that some people claim will drive even the most seasoned racers mad. Welcome everybody to the Manic Marsupials of Martinsville 100. Tonight's race is named after the United States' only native marsupial, the Virginian opossum. Tonight's championship battle is a close fight between Barrett Flo and Justin Lewis. 18 points separate these two from the championship. Which driver tonight will come out on top? Will we see one of the championship favorites make it to victory, or will somebody play possum on strategy to come out on top? Only 18 points separate Justin Lewis starting P3 and Barrett Flo starting P1. These two drivers have clearly been the class of the field. They're in every hunt every single week. You and I call these races. Really looking forward to this. In just a couple moments, the pace truck is going to turn down the very short pit road, and we are going to get this race underway. Trucks coming down. Entering the WJM Motorsports starting zone. Barrett Flo, Adam Lowe on the throttle, already into turn number 1, side-by-side racing. Barrett Flo going to take a commanding lead in the 58 of Adam Lowe. For a moment, I thought he might have been at risk of losing the second place finish, but now the battle is for third as Justin Lewis finds himself stuck on the outside. He's probably going to lose third place to Isaac Love.
I don't think... Oh, we got on the wall there, but I don't think so. Yesterday, I was finding the outside was working a little bit here on fresh tires, so it's still going to be side by side. But I think, I don't think Lewis is going to get it now.
He's going to have to. Yeah, he's going to have to turn down here. Otherwise, I think he's going to get freight trained. I'm not sure what the track conditions were for your event, but at 117 degrees, I don't want to be stuck on the outside whatsoever at all. Justin Lewis already making short work of Isaac Love on the inside of him, trying to take back the third place position. And set his sights on Adam Lowe to try to get up front to compete with Barrett Flo. I believe Justin Lewis is going to have to win the race in order to win the championship, but we're just going to assume both drivers have to win the championship. We'll get periodic updates on that as this race goes on. And so far, a really spectacular first 5 laps, and I might have spoken a little bit too soon, as Frank Hughes, I believe, is involved in an incident, and the R on his name stands for him being a rookie. Let's see what happened.
Seemed like he just got a little loose there.
Yeah, just a little loose. It's real. I mean, it's got to be real slick out there at 117 degrees. There's just no way it's not super slick. So here in a couple moments, we're gonna try to get an update on the points as they run. It might be post-race when we get that, but we're gonna try to have a periodic update. But what you need to know is Barrett Flo and Justin Lewis are battling for the championship tonight in the Manic Marsupials of Martinsville 100. What a name. I really enjoy that. The Manic Marsupials of Martinsville.
Yeah, I like it.
Got him at pretty interesting. That was named by Joshua Yarbaugh. Joshua's currently scored 10th place in the number 77 Toyota machine. You driving a marsupial car? Nope. He's got that car, that truck we laughed about a couple weeks back. That slightly exciting, like, e-girl Playboy truck.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what a
You're always gonna see that truck. There's no ifs about it. So let's go ahead, take a moment. Let's go through the field, starting with Barrett Flo up front. Barrett Flo always runs up front, very quick, and it explains why he is in the hunt for the championship, I should say. Behind him, Stony Point, North Carolina, is Adam Lowe. And Justin Lewis, other contender out of Columbus, Indiana, scored P3. Isaac Love gave him a fight for 3rd place, ended up falling back to 4th. Austin Call out of Spring, Texas, holding on to 5th place. So that's the top 5. We'll go through a couple more of these drivers the further we go through the event. We come around very short pace lap once it's time to go here. We're going to come around to the WJM Motorsports restart zone, and we will be getting back to green. And we're going to turn this one up for you to enjoy the sound of these trucks. We'll be back. And we're back a little bit quicker than we expected because you saw it, we saw it. Drivers involved in an incident on the restart. Multiple drivers involved. We're going to try to see what happened and see if we can get a good view from the blimp right here. I believe Adam Lowe was one of the drivers that took the brunt of what happened here. That's side by side with Justin Lewis, and he ended up just kind of oddly getting kicked out right there. I'll try one more time to maybe from a different angle to see how that might have happened.
Seems like he pinched the door on the 18, I believe that is there.
Yeah, no, it was on the 07, but that's uncharacteristic. It's like he wheel hopped. Look at all the debris on the track from the collision. Really awfully strange, I might add. I haven't seen anything like that in a while. Another driver up from Klaus Williams. He just worked his way up to there. Derek Wegman, number 39 Toyota, in the top 5 now. Greg Birch so far out of Simpsonville, South Carolina, with a good run. Michael Matta, Waterbury, Connecticut. Joshua Yarborough up 1 position now. Matthew Marston. I'm not really sure where Matthew is, but he's got someone in the chat. If you want to tell us where Matthew is, we'd love to give his town a shout out. In the 10th place position right now is Tillman. I'm going to call him Hewer. So Jacob, what's the key to running well at Martinsville? What would you say is the most important factor, especially if you want to be out front, finish in the top 3 for this final race?
Well, first it's going to be control your setup, keep control of the car, don't self-spin. And then second, it's going to do what I didn't do yesterday and stay patient. Don't try and take more than you give, because that will hurt you in the long run.
All right, yeah, I really think just staying on that inside line. As we see the pace truck come off, we're going to go into the WJM Motorsports restart zone once again, led by Barrett Flo, and guess who? Justin Lewis on the outside. No surprise to see the championship contenders both out front. I think they're going to be around each other all night, and it looks like we delayed the start of this race. Well, that's actually going to work out really well for us, because that gives me an opportunity to talk about WJM Motorsports, which is a team of professional and amateur virtual drivers, builders, broadcasters, crew chiefs, spotters, painters, and mechanics. They're all striving to win in glorious one-sided fashion. They provide extensive exposure for sponsors within real world and over the virtual racing world, with an emphasis on iRacing. You can get your WJM merchandise and check out all the drivers and partners on the team, as well as finding more information about how you and your company can get on board with a rapidly growing, highly competitive iRacing team at WJMmotorsports.com, or send an email to bill@WJMmotorsports.com. And we're back under green here. Barrett Flo with the command of the lead. Justin Lewis 1 truck back, and then single file all the way back to Joshua Yarborough in 9th, who's working on Michael Matta for the 8th position.
He's going to be working him here, working that inside. He's still going to be side by side with him. 16's not going to give it to him, but he's going to go down, and the 77 will get the spot there. But one thing I can say, Justin Lewis is definitely happy that he wasn't part of that last spin, because he was a part of it, but just lucky enough that he didn't get turned around.
Yeah, that would have been really unfortunate, as Adam Lowe is a lap down in the 19th position, and try to take a peek at his truck right there. The number 58 F-150. He's got a new truck, but he's going to have his work cut out for him. He's going to need a caution, then he's going to have to slowly drive through the field. As you see, he's going around the number 78. That's Mark Millard. That's not for position. Mark is another rookie in the season. I'm glad he's here. Hope to see him again when the next season comes around. Flo and Lewis up front, joined by Austin Call. Austin Call is a driver I feel like we talk about a little bit. He's always sort of around, but I feel like we haven't said his name much in the last couple of weeks. But now look at this. Could he be the possum that spoils the championship in the Marsupials of Martinsville 100?
He might be, and that Wonder Bread machine, from Talladega Nights might be able to do it, as there's another caution.
Another caution. All right, let's see. That's Mark Milliard, who we just talked about, and I believe Michael Matta involved. Let's try to get an idea of what may have happened right here. Following Michael Matta in the number 16. He gets loose. Tries to get back on track. A little bit slow right here, but how is Millard involved?
Millard had a self spin on the front stretch.
We had 2 incidents about the same time. As we're following Millard right here. Yep, self spin. So they both spun pretty much opposite sides of the track, out of 3 and out of 2, or excuse me, out of 4 and out of 2. That's rather odd. But I think that just goes to show just how hot the surface is. Grip is going to be really hard to find, and you have to really feather the throttle, I imagine. What we're going to do is we're going to go on board with, say, Austin Call on this next restart and see what he sees and how he's driving the machines.
Yeah, I think it would have been really funny if he was able to put that Fig Newton sticker in the middle. Obviously, it wouldn't be funny for him while he's racing, but very great reference to the movie.
And look at that body roll right there. You see Justin Lewis moving the truck the right to the left. You can actually see the front end and the suspension work in that machine. And, you know, it wasn't so long ago that the whole truck just seemed to move. And now we're actually seeing suspension incorporated into iRacing, and, you know, really incredible and quite impressive. I want to thank iRacing for the awesome product that they create that allows us to race and not have to spend thousands of dollars every time we tear our trucks and cars and other toys up on the racetrack.
Yeah, thank iRacing for that. Definitely love to be able to race and, you know, not have to spend billions of dollars to fix the truck.
So we'll be coming to lap 25, I believe, when we get restarted here. That will be starting lap 25 when we get back going here. Justin Lewis and Barrett Flo on the front row. We're going to be entering the WJM Motorsports restart zone. And we're going to be a quarter through this race, and it hasn't been very long. So into the restart zone, Barrett Flo on the throttle. Lewis doing an excellent job to stay with him, but I think you're just going to want to go ahead and dive down there. And now we just opened the door for Austin Call. If Lewis doesn't get down quick, which he manages to do, that could have been a position. Maybe Austin Call was a little bit helpful right there. And sure enough, I forgot to go on board with him. We're going to go on board with Austin Call now to see what he sees while going around this track.
07 almost put the fender right to the back of the bumper of the 92 there. He's getting really close.
Putting a lot of wheel in that machine. Sounds like very little throttle input off the corners. Unfortunately, we don't see the throttle inputs that these drivers make. I really wish we could show that to you, but we're unable to do that at this time. And a little smoke right there off the 2 liters. You know, it seems like Austin Call's pretty solid through 1 and 2, right? Excuse me, through 3 and 4 right there. And perhaps a little bit better. Caution's out again. Showing Mike Peters involved. Number 95, that blue one-guard machine. A little bump from the number 38, Zachary Archer. Is going to get them both turned around. That's why you don't bump people here. Man, look at that. Just stopped short of that 24 truck right there. Chris Myers just happened to stop short. Chris Myers had a really good race going yesterday and got into some trouble. But all right, that's lap 29 of 100. On the next caution, I think we're going to make an attempt to talk with the championship contenders and try to get some of their thoughts on where this race is going. It looks like Justin Lewis will be available and Barrett Flo will be available. So we'll be sure to talk to both of those drivers on the next time around.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to talk to them to see and get their thoughts on where they think this thing's going to end and how they think they're going to do. It's a definitely exciting championship battle between these two, because these guys have been, Barrett Flo, Justin Lewis, Austin Call have been the guys up front most of these races. So to see at least the 2 of them battle it out is going to be a good time here when it comes to that time.
Now, who's going to be the Marsupial King of Martinsville for the 100 laps? So far, Barrett Flo has been that for just over a quarter. 3/10 of the show has been the Flo show. Justin Lewis kind of waiting to spoil that. Perhaps pit stops might be the difference. I'm starting to wonder between these two drivers if the one who's out front has a significant advantage over the other. But we've seen these drivers be aggressive with each other before, in a friendly, competitive nature, of course. And at a track like this, maybe first is not where you want to be coming to the last corner.
Yeah, it almost makes me wonder if we see somebody pull a 2-tire strategy like we saw last week with Barrett Flo. who was able to get the win at North Wilkesboro. I think it'll be interesting to see coming down to the end of this race. Maybe somebody pulls that strategy and wins, but who knows? There's still a lot of time left.
Wasn't that an aggressive move? And I remember talking to him. He wasn't so sure it was going to work out, and it kind of like the Red Seas parted, and it just did. It just made it work, and it happened, and worked out really, really well for him. So, I'm sure we'll see something else interesting happen right here. Try to go to a neat view for this restart as the pace car comes in. Trucks coming into turns 3 and 4. What a view of those machines right there. On the throttle, here we go. Barrett Flo, Justin Lewis out front, across the start finish line, into turn number 1, still side by side throughout the field.
Now you have to wonder if Justin Lewis can be able to get down. He is. It almost seems like Austin Call is letting Lewis get down. He was able to get down there very quickly.
Yep, once again, Barrett Flo out front, Justin Lewis to the side. A little loose action right there. See, that's going to open the door for Lewis.
Yeah, that'll open the door for Ferdland, opening the door to the 18, and he's not going to be able. He's going to stick it. Still going to be side by side here. Now Austin Call might lose third position.
Yeah, Call on the wall right there. Klaus Williams in the number 4 black and orange machine on the inside of him in the preferred lane. Coming into turn 3 right here. How hard is Call going to fight? Call, I thought had an opportunity, but the 04 really throttles out good right there. Car loose back there. Looks like Greg Birch, the number 51, not the 51, that's the 14 of Tillman, manages to hang on to it. Looks sorted right here. Austin Call is going to hang on to the position. Got a battle between the 742 of Isaac Love and the 39 of Derek Wegman. This is for 5th place position. Just behind them is Tillman, Hewer, and Greg Birch. That's for 7th. And the caution's back out. Jacob, if while I'm working on doing this, will you check in and dial up by either Barrett Flo or Justin Lewis?
10-4.
Oh, big hit right there between the 35. That's unfortunate with the fans here for the number 35. Matthew Marston.
All right, and while we got John working on some things, I'll go ahead and talk to our leader right now, Barrett Flo. Barrett, you're doing good so far. What do you have to do to maintain the way you're going and win this championship?
Just try to stay out front, but that's about all we can do.
There's been a lot of cautions. Do you think we're going to keep seeing more, or do you think maybe we'll get a green flag run in here?
We're probably going to see more. It'd be nice to see a green flag run, but probably going to see more.
Imagine. I've got a question for you, Barrett. So we know you and Justin Lewis are separated by 18 points. There's a scenario where one of y'all wins and still doesn't win the championship?
Well, I think the way it goes is still possible. We could, still win the championship and he win the race, and if that happens, that's all fine with me. All
right. Well, we appreciate the. Well, we actually got you a second longer. How loose is it out on track right now? We're seeing cars spin off of 3, off of 4, and off of 2.
I don't feel that. It's not that bad. No, probably as the run goes on, it's going to get worse, but I'm kind of dealing with more of a tight setup. I'm probably getting on the brakes too hard. But if I can quit watching that mirror, I think I'll be all right.
All right. Well, Barrett, thanks for the time. Good luck. You've been a leader for 4/10 of the event. Only 6/10 more to go for you, and maybe we'll be talking to you again.
Okay. Appreciate it.
All right, and that was Barrett Flo. What a great guy. He's very enthusiastic about his run. Hopefully he can keep it going here.
Yeah, I think getting an opportunity to talk to those guys, especially when we're going to have some cautions in an event like this, is a really nifty thing to do. Get a little bit of an idea of how they're thinking. And surprisingly, he said, I've got a tighter setup. So it looks like some drivers are a little bit more loose, and other drivers have more of a tight setup. And it very well could just be trying trying to get off the corner too aggressively, and that's what's causing some of these drivers to go around.
Yeah, I mean, he said he wasn't feeling the track temp either. So I mean, it's different. It's weird, honestly, in my opinion, because like you said, 117-degree track temp. You think you'd be feeling it, but for him, he said he wasn't. So it'll be interesting to see over the run how he does.
We put a question up: who's going to win the championship, either Lewis or Flo? I believe Barrett Flo has the points lead by 18, but Lewis could still pull this off. So do us a favor also, if you're watching, go ahead and like the stream. We appreciate the 18 viewers that we have right now. We've already had 52. We've only been going for 32 minutes. Real great support for these drivers as they're going to enter the WJM Motorsports restart zone and flow with it. Excellent start over Justin Lewis. Easily going to take that first place position without so much as a battle, as Austin Call is going to hang on a third. Klaus Williams under siege by Derek Wegman. Wegman has kind of been on a move. This will be his. If he completes this, he'll be up 4 positions, slowly but surely clawing his way into the conversation of the top 5. He might have something to say about this race before it's over. A little further back, Greg Birch, Mike Peters, Chad Jones, all locked in a battle for the 9th place position. Mike Peters, Frank Hughes, Chad Jones for the 10th. 4 cars right here, all one. And we got a spinner. Zachary Archer. Caution's back out.
What a save, though. I mean, yeah, he did spin a little bit, but didn't hit anything. I mean, I don't even know if the caution would have been warranted there. I know iRacing throws the caution, so... I mean, if this were real life, I wouldn't have thrown the caution.
Yeah, gonna watch this one more time. He got some damage, and I'm not really sure where the damage came from. He must have already had the damage. Okay. Then, because it didn't look like he ever got touched. Jacob, we go ahead and, never mind. We have drivers coming down pit road. Barrett Flo staying out. Lewis getting his set of tires now. This is going to shake things up quite a bit. We're going to see multiple drivers that stayed out and several other drivers come down pit road. Justin Lewis should be the first driver off pit road, but he's going to have at least 5 cars between him and Barrett Flo.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a fan of that move for Justin Lewis. I mean, now he's going to be stuck behind a whole bunch of cars, and I don't think that's a smart idea here. I mean, you want to stay out longer for the track position because I assume they don't really need fuel, or if they do, it's only going to be a 1 stop. So I mean, just an interesting call for the 07 team.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by it. Normally, you want to do what the opposite of the leader in certain situations, but I feel like they're so closely competitive here that this one, I'm scratching my head on this one a little bit. And I'm waiting for things to cycle around so that we know exactly where Justin Lewis is going to be scored. It certainly should not be 14th, as I'm showing him in 14th right now, and I don't think that's where he's going to cycle out. But the leaders are going to be Barrett Flo, Klaus Williams, Wegman, Hillman, and Isaac Love. These drivers did not pit. The rest of the drivers did pit, and I think Jason Crumley sort of drove into pit road and did not pit. I'm seeing some interesting data for him. So the front rows now are going to be Barrett, Flo, Klaus, Williams, Tillman Hewer, Derek Wegman, and Isaac Love. And yeah, I'm not sure how, but Justin Lewis... No, never mind, disregard, I understand. We had other drivers on other cautions pit, so Justin Lewis is starting 14th. Halfway through this race. He'll have fresh tires, but starting 14th, he's going to put himself in the zone of trouble as we're underway here, almost halfway through the Marsupials of Martinsville 100. Lewis going to have to be extremely careful as he works his way through the traffic. And, you know, if we were to see a green flag run, I think this might be a tall order as he's really trying to make things happen on the outside. And if he gets some help with some beating and banging like that, he might have a shot.
Yeah, I mean, Austin Call was getting hit left and right there. Good on him to not get turned around. But Justin Lewis is going to be inside of Joe Owen here. They're going to be side by side through the corner. And if I were Joe Owen, I'd let him go. Yeah, he's going to let him go there.
Yeah, Lewis being extremely aggressive. You saw him get right up on the back bumper of Owen, get around and got another caution. So if he takes 3 cars a lap, or 3 cars a green flag run here, at some point he's going to be back up to the front. I think Crumley and Archer involved here. I think Archer has a spin. Try to see this one more time. That's that 38 machine again. It's unfortunate, another self spin. And brutal for Chris Myers. I think it probably tore the engine up for Archer right there.
Yeah, Archer's been in a lot of accidents today, and that might be the end of his day. We'll see. I mean, he might still have a faster pair. Who knows? But tough break for the 38 machine.
Well, if you would, let's go ahead and try to dial up Justin Lewis. See if we can get an idea of why he's made the call that he made.
Justin, this is Jacob Zala from the SRM booth. You got me? Mr. Lewis, you got a copy?
All right, I guess he's just not available, Jacob. You can send him on back down. We'll try him again a little bit later.
Sounds good. Will do.
And Snail2969 said, "Woohoo, go Josh." We appreciate the support for these drivers. They enjoy listening to it. I imagine he's talking about Joshua Yarbaugh and the number 77 right here, I'm going to say. And also, special thanks. He said, I'm happy the announcers are good. Otherwise, I'd be so lost. Thanks, dudes. I appreciate that. You know, I don't remember the last time somebody said something good about a production that I'm putting on. Trying to keep this interesting the best we can here. Take a quick moment to talk about and discuss the WJM Motorsports team. It's a team of professional and amateur virtual drivers, builders, broadcasters, crew chiefs, spotters, painters, mechanics, all striving to win in glorious one-sided fashion. We provide extensive exposure for sponsors within real world and over the virtual racing world with an emphasis on iRacing. You can get your WJM merchandise and check out all the drivers and partners on the team, as well as finding more information about how you and your company can get on board with a rapidly growing, highly competitive iRacing team at WJMmotorsports.com or sending an email to bill@WJMmotorsports.com. All right, gonna get ready to enter the restart zone. Justin Lewis will be starting 11th. Flo and Wegman. Wegman worked his way up to the front row. A little bit of tire spin right there, and Barrett Flo's gonna get an excellent restart. Wegman's gonna hang on to second. The battle is for third between Williams and Hewer. I think Hewer's gonna prevail. He is. Gonna turn our attention back to Justin Lewis. Getting extremely aggressive. Huge bump right there on Adam Lowe, asking him to get out of the way. Justin Lewis probably carrying significantly more speed through the corner right there. In fact, trying to make it work on the outside, and that's just not going to work out for him that time by. So laps are starting to tick down rather quickly here for Justin Lewis. Something's going to have to happen. He's really got his work cut out for him to get back to the front.
Well, John, unfortunately, I have some bad news for the 07 of Justin Lewis. Barrett Flo has just clinched the championship by most laps led. So at this point, it does not matter what Justin Lewis does.
Championship clinched. Darn, well, that's a bummer for Lewis, but I'd like to go win the race. But how about that? Congratulations to the number 92 of Barrett Flo. Champion, led 6/10 of the race already today. Should we tell him or should we not tell him? I bet he already knows.
I assume he already knows because he is in the SCL officials channel, so I assume he already knows.
How about that? Austin calling Lewis. Now Lewis wants to play spoiler. Can anybody else pull off a victory here? Can someone spoil the champion?
I know it could happen.
Can it be a rookie?
It's happened before. It definitely could happen.
definitely could happen. Could it be Wegman? Could it be somebody like Klaus Williams, who's always kind of in the mix, but we just haven't seen a full race be put together? Mike Peters coming down pit road, one guard, 95, F-150. There'll be about 30, we're called 36 laps remaining when we go back to green, maybe 37. And Barrett Flo doesn't have too much longer to go in order to hoist that trophy of his that I'm sure he is quite interested in.
Oh, almost got hit by the lap car there.
Take a minute to mention last night's race at Southern National Motorsports for the Street Stock Series. Brandon Varney was victorious for the Mike Diaz 100. Chris Myers ended up finishing second, and Kenny Tripp third. In fact, I'm going to have to correct myself. For some reason, I remembered Chris Myers not having the best race yesterday, but he did finish second yesterday. So kudos to him. Unfortunately, today, the truck race just not really going well for him, as you take a good look at that 24 truck, just extremely beat up. But he's still out there. He's turning laps, currently scoring the 19th position.
Yeah, what a good run for him. And man, it's sad to see that the battle's already over between Barrett Flo and Justin Lewis. But I mean, props to Barrett Flo for obviously leading the most laps here. But I want to see a spoiler. I don't know about you. I want to see a spoiler.
Yeah, I'd like to see this 39 pull it off, this rookie driver for the SCL series. He's slowly been working his way up. He's up 6 positions since the start of the race. And then you got Michael Matta and Matthew Marston also up 10 positions each. So a couple drivers were slowly working their way to the front, and we could still see a lot of things happen. Barrett Flo, another excellent restart out of the WJM Motorsports restart zone. Wegman under siege from Klaus Williams. Not the best start for him. We're going to see if he can hang on to it. I feel like he opened the door a little bit too much. Williams will take advantage. They're side by side out of turn number 2 into turn 3. Advantage back to Wegman, who's going to be able to clear Williams and hold on to P2.
And now it's a game of can Wegman catch Barrett Flo, as we're going to see a battle between the 16. He's going to send it in there really deep and go. He's going to lose a lot of spots there for that. What a send, as Justin Lewis is going to try and pass him, and Justin Lewis gives him a shove through the corner.
Oh, dude, up the wall again. That's the 742 of the track, and also, I believe, the 75. Now everything's all mixed up, as the 742 is just going to send the 16. That's a whole exchange right there, and I'm going to try to catch it. Catch all of it if we can. Starting from right here. Yeah, you get huge shove from Justin Lewis, which gets him way out of whack, up into the wall. Hits the 742. What if the 742 thinks that he just came up and clobbered him? Because 742 just drives right through the 16 right here. That has to be what happened.
I think so. I mean, he just drove right through him. No questions asked.
Yeah, that's not going to work out. You know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Somebody says the 38's going to win. Well, 38's currently 20th. Several laps down. That's Zachary Archer.
Yep, I see a comment. I'm happy the announcers are good, otherwise I'd be so lost. Thanks, dudes. Well, you know, we try here at SRM, and I think John and I have been doing this where we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, well, we can talk about Jacob. Jacob's one of our newer guys here, and he came in for a short interview, and the entire team showed up to greet him, and that was all he needed, and now he's here. So any of you drivers, if you guys want to try announcing out, we've got room for you. Mondays and Tuesdays, we have 4 and 5 shows, and over the course of the week, for anywhere between 16 to 22 broadcasts per week. We appreciate everybody who's always tuning in to watch and support and throw a few comments at us. Appreciate the thumbs up on the YouTube, if you don't mind. And if you would, we'd also appreciate a quick subscription. Thanks for being here. We're going to have 30 laps left for the Manic Marsupials of Martinsville 100.
Well, there's been a lot of cautions here tonight, but I don't say this much. I'm okay with it. It's Martinsville. Obviously, it's gonna happen in Martinsville, but it's still been a good race while it's all said and done.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of action happen, and look at who's finding himself in a pretty good position. Now, Justin Lewis has significantly fresher tires than every driver in front of him. In fact, now he is the first driver with the freshest tires. Got 25 laps on him at this point. But, that's still way fresher than 70-lap-old tires. So, what Barrett Flo and Derek Wegman are going to have to rely on is track position. Because Justin Lewis is already working on Tillman Hewer for the 4th place position. He's going to just fly right on by.
Ooh, and we got someone spinning.
Trouble in the back.
And there's going to be a caution. I believe that was Austin Call and... Let me see. Austin Call and Frank Hughes there.
Let me get a bird's eye view here. Ooh, that's kind of an interesting collision right there. Not too bad. Everybody seems to avoid it. Fairly innocent in the result, except that it hurts the 750 of Frank Hughes significantly. Got Hughes' garage on the side of that truck back there. I'm gonna get another angle at it.
I mean, it just seemed like the 750 wasn't trying to give the 18 any room. I mean, I don't like to put the blame on guys and put the blame on drivers because they're all drivers and we all make mistakes. But I mean, it just looked like he wasn't trying to give the 18 any sort of room.
Well, less than 30 laps remaining. I mean, I wouldn't do a ton either for anybody. But I do believe they were in a battle for around the 10th position, and finishing in the top 10 is something that if I don't do, I feel like I've had a bad race. Having a good race, I need to be in the top 5, me personally. And if I'm outside the top 10, it was a bad race. Doesn't matter how many cars are in the field. That's just the way that I see it whenever I race with drivers personally. So, or whenever I get into races, which is very, very rare. But they're racing for position.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, they are racing for position. A good save, though, from the 750. Didn't get too much damage from that. But, just tough. Tough racing around here in Martinsville. And that's kind of the product that you're going to get here.
Right on. So we're going to keep an eye on Justin Lewis in 4th. Take a look. Matthew Marston up 13 positions. And the number 35 truck scored P5. Napa Auto Parts Machine looking to get himself another good finish here. We're going to see what he comes out with. Now, Justin Lewis kind of out here on the outside of row 2. He gets one more position. I'm not liking the odds for Barrett Flo if Justin Lewis restarts on the inside of row number 2. I don't think that's going to work for him. Flo's going to get an excellent restart. Wegman needs to get down now. I don't know why he's even leaving the door open. He needs to get down to the bottom of the track. There he goes right there. Klaus Williams doing the best he can to hold Lewis off. The best friend, well, I guess a caution is their best friend.
Yeah, it seems to be that way.
Greg Birch, who's having a really good race early, a little beat up truck now, just gets sent by the 16. That's kind of happened a couple times.
I mean, on my end, it looks a little bit of netcode, but still, yeah, I mean, 16 has gotten into a lot of people. I'm sure there's a lot of people not happy with the 16 tonight.
We're going to try watching this from a different view one more time. Try slowing down here. Okay. Net code. Yeah, I mean, he was close. He was probably too close, but net code on this one.
Yeah, it looked really bad because, I mean, it didn't even look like before he even got there was going to be enough to spin him around, and then that netcode hit, and then he got around.
Oh, boy. Look at your top 3.
Oh, man. Justin Lewis on the inside row.
Yeah, he managed to get that 3rd place spot.
This might be pain for Barrett Flo, but I mean, I guess Barrett Flo's happy he locked up the championship, but I mean, he would also like to win the race too.
I like dual burnouts. I'm just going to say it.
I do too, but I'm just saying in Barrett Flo's case, he's happy that he won the championship, but he would also like to win the race.
Yeah,
But
one of my favorite things, IRL, I can't remember which year it was, but remember Jeff Gordon won the race. I think Jimmy Johnson won the championship and he had dual Hendrick Motorsports burnouts at Homestead. And just really awesome, I thought. Barrett Flo out front. Justin Lewis already the second. That did not take long. Marston really working hard right here on the inside of Wegman, trying to take 3rd place away, doing really well, showing off for his fans in the chat, or in the live comment section. Struggling a little bit, but have a good opportunity to try to hang on to it. I really think the longer he stays on the inside, at some point Wegman is going to lose this battle. Wegman holding on tough out on the outside, though.
yeah, Wegman's gonna stay side by side. And 35 gets loose. It looked like he got loose, and he just forfeited the spot.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. The 92 around. No caution either.
Oh my gosh.
And that gives Derek Wegman the lead.
That's painful. And that didn't even work out for Justin Lewis. We're going to go watch that happen again. I'm going to try to watch it happen again. Here we go. Flo and Lewis battling for first. Lewis on the fresher tires gets right in here. I think it happens in this next corner. Lewis able to roll through the corner much better. I apologize, it wasn't quite yet. Coming up soon, though. Yeah, Lewis sees an opening, gets through the left rear corner panel of 92, sends Barrett around, and it doesn't even work out for him as he gets freight trained by a few other drivers. And Derek Wegman is now out front with Austin Caw, Matthew Marston up 15 spots, and Lewis in 4th, Adam Lowe 5th. Completely different race now. Dare I call Derek Wegman the Marsupial of the Martinsville 100? Or is it perhaps Matthew Marston?
It might be a little too early for that, but it could be.
I mean, yeah, Justin Lewis is still there. Barrett Flo coming down pit road, 15 laps, super fresh tires. This might be interesting to see. He's got nothing to lose.
Yeah, he doesn't. He really doesn't. Well, now you have to see if there's going to be anything between Barrett Flo and Justin Lewis there. If there's going to be any tension between those guys.
I mean, maybe a little tension. I don't think Lewis really meant to turn him there. I think he expected Flo to, okay, he's here, I'm going to give him some room. And Flo wasn't just about to hand up the lead. I mean, he led 84 laps. Why should he give up the lead? But that puts Wegman out front, makes him the control car. Probably 12 laps to go. Lewis is going to be on the outside of row 2. If this goes green, I think Wegman or Marston has a really good opportunity at this. If it doesn't go green, I think that falls right into Justin Lewis's lap.
Oh yeah, we'll have to check that out as we get back going at some point in this run. But I mean, we've seen caution after caution, so I don't know. This might not go. We might not get a green flag run, and this might work out for Justin Lewis if he can gain spots cordially here.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Just for everybody to know, Barrett Flo led a majority of the laps here and clinched the SuperTruck Series championship on most laps led this evening. So Barrett Flo is the champion of the Marsupials of Martinsville 100 and the season. But we still have a race to figure out. And between Wegman, Austin Call up front, we're going to be coming to 11 laps to go. It's not going to take very long, as laps around here take 20 seconds or less. Maybe we'll see one or two more cautions as the pace truck comes in. WJM Motorsports restart zone for Wegman. Wegman's going to need an excellent restart here, backing everybody up on the gas for him. And it's going to be a pretty solid restart. Matthew Marston looking to, wow, what a move by Austin Call. Just flat out cut him off and then booted Wegman out of the way.
Wow, Austin Call made a bold move, and I mean, I almost wondered if there was going to be a penalty there
Caution.
for... Oh, no, caution.
I want to, before going to see the cause of the caution, I want to go back to the green flag.
I was going to say, I thought there might have been a penalty for... I don't know how these guys do their penalties, but I thought there was going to be a penalty for moving before switching lanes too early, but doesn't seem like that's the case.
Nope, he waited. He just flat out cut him off. Had to make the move, and he did. Let's back it up real quick on Wegman to see if there's actually some contact there. Try to go to a chase view right here. What I think caused part of this is the big move to cut Marston off right here. Gets in, gets really close. Even closer. Just close enough for Netcode to take over and boot Wegman out of the way. Move Austin Call and Marston up there. Go back now and try to see what caused the wreck. I'm thinking it's Joe Owen. Probably as part of this mess. 3 wide right back here. Big gaggle. And he gets pushed out of the way by, I'm not sure who that was right there.
I think we've all learned a little bit from Jeff Gordon, Ryan Newman, and Clint Boyer that 3 wide will not work in Martinsville.
I mean, that was Clint Boyer's fault. I don't know what I was talking about.
But it did seem like he got hit from behind, so the 3 wide rule isn't really the cause of the incident.
No, the 14 just drove right through him. In fact, if I remember correctly, I don't think Gordon's let Boyer live that down.
Oh,
since. No. Every time I hear about it, or every time they come to Martinsville, Boyer mentions it, or it's always on TV. I was so mad growing up a 24 fan. So angry over that event. But, you know, that was really a spectacular way to end a Martinsville race when you look back at it.
Yeah, it was. I loved watching that race. I mean, at that time, Dale Jarrett was retired, and I was a Dale Jarrett fan. So I didn't really have a driver. So, I mean, for me, it didn't really matter as much, but it was still a great ending to a race.
All right. Well, we know there's a favorite driver on the outside of row 1. That's Matthew Marston. Unfortunately for him, Justin Lewis is right next to him. And Justin Lewis is going to be right on the bumper of Austin Call for this restart. Not sure if Matthew's got anything for Justin Lewis to hold on to this position. But we'll look at Austin Call. Like, you know, I mentioned earlier, he's always sort of up there, but we never really talk about him over Flo or Adam Lowe or Justin Lewis. Now with a good opportunity on the throttle for Austin Call. Can he win this event? Marston's going to have to cut Lewis off, and he didn't do it. He had an opportunity. He didn't do it. Justin Lewis is going to take that position away, and Marston's going to get stuck on the outside. He's going to have to cede that position and get down, and
and he's going to get hit.
Oh, that's unfortunate. No caution, and you can lose 11 positions just like that. And I hear all sorts of stuff happening.
He got hit there. It's tough, and there is a caution, so I don't know.
A whole bunch happened after that. 3 wide coming through. Wow, look at that. 3, 4, all 4 cars involved. All right, well, mano a mano, Austin Cole, Justin Lewis are going to be on the front row. There's going to be 3 laps to go, and Barrett Flo has not done a very stellar job getting through the field. He's only 11th. I'm not sure what the holdup has been. I expected him to be up there by now, but he is not there. So Austin Cole, Lewis will be on the front row. Wegman's back. I don't expect him to be very happy about getting cut off before. So look for him to maybe exile Justin Lewis from the inside lane. And you know, I still think this could work out for him, and he could be the Marsupial.
He could be. I mean, I'm just loving that fake Newton, Ricky Bobby paint scheme from Austin Call. Like, I just can't get enough of it. I think that's the inner kid in me talking, but
I can't believe how old that movie is. You know, I saw a picture of Will Ferrell the other day. Boy, that guy has aged. When you think of Will Ferrell, I always think of him as Ricky Bobby, or what's his name in Elf. Trying to think of another really good movie that he's been in. What is it? Step Parents, Step Brothers, or whatever.
Step Brothers.
Yeah, just a lot of good things. It's been a while. Kind of miss him. He needs to do something else here pretty soon.
Oh, his name was Buddy in Elf.
Yeah, Buddy. That's right. Gosh, when did that come out? 2008?
2003. Man, that came out in 2003? Wow.
No way.
That's what it says here.
Holy cow. 2003? That's incredible. Wow. Hey, here's a touch on something we did not know. Austin Call, leading the race, was last year's champion, and I feel like I should have known that, and for some reason I don't know that.
I mean, I said it. You just must have missed it. I said it a couple races here, but I must have missed it. But it's all good. Still, he did good winning the championship, and good on him.
You know, now I feel like I've heard you say it. So, coming to 2 laps to go. It's gonna basically be a green-white checker, but not a real green-white checker. It's just gonna be green flag, white flag, checkered flag. But I'm expecting it's gonna be a green flag, caution flag. That's what I'm expecting to see right here. What is Mike Peters or Wegman gonna do? Wegman has an opportunity to. Really good opportunity right here. Not the restart he wants. Lewis in the wall.
We'll see if they can get back to the line here. Side-by-side racing for third. Wegman's going to get that spot.
3 wide further back. Austin Call hanging on to it. What's Lewis going to do? There's a truck around. 752. And they took the white flag, but there is a mess of trucks all over the racetrack. Can they get through that? They're all back to running. I don't think Lewis can get there. Holy cow, there's a big truck right there. Oh my gosh.
I didn't even see him.
Oh my goodness. We're going to have to watch that white flag again. That's... What?
What a win by Austin Call, but I guarantee you he was scared there with that truck sitting in the middle.
I thought that was going to give Lewis the race. Like, watch, here we go. White flag. And a little further back here, get huge hits. Basically just shut down the front side of the track. Now we're back halfway around. No cautions out. And the field's going to race back to the checkered. And Austin Call's coming around. The 78's just right there.
Yeah, and it looked like the 78 turned down, too.
I mean, I think he's just trying to get out of the way, but he's right there. And it's still a 0.3 second win for Austin Call. I guess it looked closer than it really was. So Austin Call, last year's champion, wins the last race of this year. Justin Lewis is going to finish P2 in the championship and P2 in the race. I'm going to go ahead and call Wegman the Marsupial, making some things work for the rookie in the season. And Austin Call is the one, call it the Possums move, pitting lap 45 to win the race. But the real winner, Barrett Flo, clinched tonight's race. He came in with an 18-point lead over Justin Lewis, led the most laps, and that relegated Lewis to finishing second in the series standings. Go ahead and stay with Barrett Flo right here as he's going to burn it down for his championship win. All the drivers just going to be watching him.
What a win by Barrett Flo for the championship.
I mean, he led 86 laps?
Somewhere
Just
around
about.
there.
Maybe it was like 83 laps. I mean, very dominant truck. And going to finish P9, driving around track. I
Hit the wall there.
guess he's trying to do the best impression of the other day as possible. I don't think his team owner cares. He just won the championship.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, you're going to put that truck down. You're going to part it up and fix it for next season. So not too much to care about there.
All right, so we got drivers in the waiting room. We're going to start with, well, I guess we're going to start with Barrett Flo. As it just looks like he's just jumped in the booth with us as he's doing donuts. How can you talk and do donuts at the same time?
I can't.
Said he can't. Well, I guess the one thing that everybody who's watching wants to know is, I mean, what were you thinking when Lewis kind of got into the left rear quarter panel, just sitting you around? It looked so surreal and calm, but you quickly went from first to tail end of the lead lap.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like it, but my crew had we kind of had a game plan, lead the most laps. And I think those guys came in and pitted early, which is kind of a rookie mistake when you're that young. And so we led the most laps, and so after that, he could pretty much do what he wanted to. Just wish, he hadn't spun us, but it is what it is.
I mean, I guess there's not too much to be upset about winning the championship, but when you're appear to be the fastest car all night, finishing 9th instead of first is a little bit of a disappointment. But Barrett, congratulations. Anybody you want to mention as the SCL SuperTruck champion? Anyone you want to talk about, thank, or any thoughts when you go into the next season?
Oh, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm tickled to death we won the championship. I'd rather win that than the race. So I'd just like to thank my crew, Josh and Adam, and all the hard work that the Sunday Cup League does. And, just tickled to death to be able to win another championship. I think currently, out of all the guys in the league, I think we've won a championship in each division. So tickled about that. And J.O. Flow Graydon, our sponsor. And so, yeah, really appreciate you and all the hard work y'all do as announcers.
Well, appreciate the shout out. Great job on your interview, Barrett. Congratulations. We had a lot of fun watching you. Lead 5 laps, lead some caution laps, lead 4 laps, lead some caution laps, and unfortunate bump from Justin Lewis put you towards the back, but you were able to recover for a 9th place finish, and you're the series champion. I hope you enjoy it, and hope to talk to you again.
Yep. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
No problem. We'll see you. Jacob, I think it's time to talk to the Marsupial of Martinsville, the winner of the 100. I believe that's going to be Austin Call. And I'm going to leave Austin Call with you. And Austin is now in the booth with us, the winner of the Manic Marsupials of Martinsville 100.
Hey, Austin. First of all, I just want to ask how you doing.
Good now. That was a pretty
Ah.
chaotic race. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I had a pretty good race. Definitely got into some people, which it's Martinsville. What are you gonna do? So yeah.
Yeah, definitely agree there. You and Justin decided to make a really interesting pit call early on. And you made it work. How'd you make it work? I gotta know.
Well, it was mostly rolling, a lot of rolling the outside on restarts. A lot of rolling the outside on restarts. Kind of getting lucky with some of the people taking themselves out and stuff like that. And really just avoiding the major wrecks, and obviously getting into Wegman didn't help. So yeah, I just drove through people and drove through the wrecks without touching other people. So
I gotta know, what was the inspiration to run the paint scheme tonight? Love it, by the way.
I just wanted to run something new, and it wasn't my normal like bright yellow one that's gonna hurt your eyes if you look at it for too long. Honestly, I love this movie, so I gotta run it. I've been running the other paint scheme, like the me paint scheme, I think I ran it a few times this year, or maybe it was another league. But I really love this movie, so I just decided to run this paint scheme here.
Yeah, and as do I. It is a great paint scheme, and definitely love it. But congratulations on the win here tonight, Austin. Before we let you go here, I'm gonna let you thank whoever you have to thank, all your sponsors, all that good stuff.
Well, technically, I don't really have any sponsors, but I do have my family and my grandma, definitely, who I know they all watch these races. I know they've been watching all these races for a while now, for as long as I've been league racing. Especially my grandma, who's already been texting me about this race, so I know she's definitely watching right now. So yeah, that's really. Also in Justin, he was kind of mad at me that I won, not him, but yeah, it's teammate stuff.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Austin. We'll go ahead and let you celebrate your win, and good season at the end. Didn't win the championship, but won the race.
Yep, definitely gonna want to build on this season. Going into the Gen 4 cars, I think I might actually be better at Gen 4 cars, and there goes my engine.
Oh, that's going to be wild.
That is, yeah, it's gonna be, I feel like I'm definitely better at the Gen 4 cars than the minimal races I've run with it. Like I did a race with Maxwell a few days ago, and I damn near almost beat him, like on pure pace. So I feel pretty confident in those cars. So that should be definitely very exciting, and I just want to build off this season.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll be able to see you again soon.
Yep, thank you.
All right. And that was Austin Call.
2 drivers down, 2 to go. I'm going to let you go to Justin Lewis. I want to talk to Derek Wegman. We're going to bring Lewis up now.
All right. Well, since I get to go back to back here, I get to talk to the man of the hour, but didn't quite get the results that he wanted, Justin Lewis. I mean, the strategy, man, it was interesting. Talk to me about it. The pit strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I knew, like, I didn't honestly expect him to pit to begin with, so I knew that if I didn't try something to get an advantage on him, that it wouldn't be there toward the end. And I knew if he led the most laps, it was pretty much over anyway, so I was just trying to do everything I could to get back to him to race him. And then he kind of slid them up the middle of the racetrack a little bit and left the hole open. So I was like, it's time. Like, I've done this like 4 or 5 times where like I tapped him, trying not to, turn him, because I don't race like that usually. And he just kind of closed the gap. So I had no choice. I was already underneath him, so I just kind of turned him, which wasn't intentional. I had no reason to race him like that or nothing. It was just kind of wrong place, wrong time for him. And I just kind of tagged him. So, first and foremost, I wanted to apologize to him, but I hope he didn't think I actually did it on purpose. But the strategy, I needed to get off cycle from him, and with all the cautions, it made it 10 times worse. And I don't know what it is about this place and people, not just giving and taking, because it's a really fun racetrack if you get people that don't try to win everything on the first restart or the 10th restart, or you know what I mean. But overall, it's a good race. I think we had a good truck. Just when I seen him have to get the pole, I pretty much knew that this was going to be a struggle. And usually if it's anybody between me, Austin, Barrett, we're all usually going to be up front and struggle for positions most of the race. So just tried to give it all I had and came up a little short.
So I gotta ask, did you know that by the time he had already locked up the championship, or I'm assuming you didn't know at that time, so you were still trying to race him for it?
No, I mean, I figured that, if something would happen to where he did get put to the back and I led a couple laps and maybe won the race and he finished toward the back of the field, there was a chance. I pretty much knew that, like, if I won and he finished second, obviously he was going to win the championship. But, I knew that he led the most laps just off of doing it in my own head. So I pretty much just tried to do everything I could to, try to race him clean. And, this place is so weird when it comes to some people running that different line where you arc the middle and then some guys rolling the bottom perfect, and that's kind of how I was working tonight. And then Barrett was really doing good running that line. It's just that one time I got a really good center, which I think it was just the newer tires, and I just tagged him. And but I didn't know he clinched it yet. So I mean, of course, I was still pushing for it to give a chance, but I didn't want to turn him for it. Like I said, that's not how I race. I'm an open wheel guy in real life, so when it comes to touching in a sprint car, that's never fun. So that's not how I'm trained to do it. But again, congrats to Barrett and congrats to Austin on the win. I kind of told him, I was like, you could be a bro and let me get that just to see what the points would be, which I don't know what the points came out as, how much I lost it by, but I'm kind of curious about that.
Yeah, as are we. Before I let you go here, then, I mean, you pretty much already did it for me. But is there anyone else that you have to thank, maybe any family members or anything like that, on your run this season?
I think SCL for putting a great league. We had some ups and downs in some races, but I really think that this year's truck season was really fun. I mean, I think I came out with 4 or 5 wins. I think it was 4 wins. Those wins were usually a pretty dominant effort, and there probably could have been some more, but you know how those races go. You can't really, have a perfect race on all of them. But thank you guys have been in the booth for killing it, going on for the full year. I know there was just a beginning of the year, a couple of selected races, but it really was cool to see you guys come on and do the full season and see the battles we've had. And then, of course, yeah, that's about it.
All right, Justin. Well, I'll go ahead and let you get back down, celebrate your P2. I know that's not what you wanted. You wanted to win the championship, but sometimes you come up a little bit short, and that's just racing.
Yeah, true that. Like I said, we tried, and again, congrats to Barrett, and hopefully we can come back next year and be one spot better.
I definitely believe you can, Justin. All right, and now we will get Jonathan with his guy, Derek Wegman.
Derek, Jonathan in the booth, joined with Jacob. I kind of pinpointed you on this race. At the beginning of the race, Joshua Yarball gave me a reading about a possum and who could pull a strategy move and possibly steal a race, and you almost pulled it off. P3, rookie season with SCL. What do you think of the Martinsville race to close out the season?
Yeah, no, that was definitely a lot of fun. It was only, I think, my 4th race with you guys, so pulling off a win definitely would have been cool. Thought I was gonna get it, but I got a little tagged on the rear. I managed to hold on to it. But yeah, I saw Justin go in grab some tires, I imagine, and with the way the race was panning out, caution after caution, I didn't really understand his move there, but he managed to get himself back up to the front, and then when he got up there, of course, he was going to be better. So I was just trying to keep it clean, trying to give more than take, and try and avoid anything I could, really.
And so it does look like you did the whole race one set of tires. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, whole race, one set of tires. You finished third. Everybody around you pitted on lap 45, 45, 60, 40, and 72. You finished as P3, and you did. You had a shot at it. I really think if you would have been able to close the door on Justin Lewis, you might have had a real shot at Austin Call for the end of it. Really spectacular. I enjoyed watching you run the race, and just you worked hard all race from what we saw. So congratulations to a hard fought finish for P3. Are you looking forward to doing the next season?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I joined you guys recently. I'm still in another league. But this league, the competition here is much tighter, much cleaner, and all around better race experience for sure.
All right, well, that's great news to hear. Derek, closing out here at Martinsville, is there anybody you'd like to talk to or mention before we go? The floor is yours.
No, I'm kind of a solo guy on here, so I just wanted to say thank you to you guys for hosting this, letting me race, and yeah, that was fun.
All right, well, those are words from Derek Wegman. Derek, great job, P3 finish. Hope you have a great rest of your evening, and hope to talk to you again.
Great, thank you.
Jacob, we only got one thing left to do now. We're going to have to go through the final results, and then we're going to have to send these drivers off in glorious fashion, as the WJM guys like to call it. Winning the race, not the championship. Last year's champion, Austin Call, finishes up front with about 0.3 of a second over Justin Lewis. Thought he was going to lose that with that lapped car there, and it just worked out for him. Justin Lewis pretty much ran second for the first half of the race, got all the way back to second, loses the championship by, who knows, probably a short amount of points. Derek Wegman, the Marsupial, finishes third. Fourth and fifth belong to Mike Peters, Matthew Marston. Marston, highest mover, up 13, finishes fifth. Finished fifth last night, has fans cheering him on. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Sixth place is Tillman Hewer with Jason Crumley in seventh. Greg Birch covers to an 8th place finish. Ninth, our season champion, Barrett Flo. The number 92 led about 83 laps tonight. Unfortunate contact between him and Justin Lewis relegated him to the rear. And in the course of about 15 laps, he got back to 9th position. Chris Myers finishes P10, which is incredible. Extremely beat up race car. Was a lap down at 1, maybe 2 points on the race.
And in 10th place, Chris Myers. 11th, we had Joshua Yarborough. In 12th, we had another rookie driver, Frank Hughes. In 13th, we had Michael Matta. In 14th, one lap down, Mark Millard II, also a rookie driver. In 15th, you had Klaus Williams, one lap down. In 16th, Joe Owen, one lap down. And then you got your 6 or more lap down drivers here. 17th, Adam Lowe. 18th, Zach Archer. 19th, Chad Jones, another rookie driver. And 20th, Isaac Love.
All right, that runs out the field.
Driver.
Nope, I believe that is the race control. So 20 driver field, 20 drivers in the race, 13 drivers finished on the lead lap, and I believe there were 18 drivers still running at the end of this one. Special thank you to the SCL Racing Series. It's been a pleasure to be here for the last month for the SuperTruck Series. Jacob, I've had a lot of fun working with you. Unfortunately, our Wednesday night is coming to an end with this series. We'll be talking to them to see if they will be able to come back and we can do this again. I've had a lot of fun. For Jacob, myself, Jonathan, the entire Sim Racing Media crew, and the SCL Weekly Series and SuperTrucks, we want to congratulate championship driver Barrett Flo and race winner Austin Call to close out the season at the Manic Marsupials of Martinsville 100. We'll see you next time. Thank you for watching SRM.